Hey everybody, this package arrived today. Let's get it open and see what's in there.
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall.
Alright, I already opened this and unwrapped all this because it was wrapped really tight with this green cellophane, and then this was wrapped around the sheath. So you gotta forgive me for that. But let's get to the knife and the sheath. Okay, here is the knife inside of the nylon sheath. It's just a typical black MOLLE compatible nylon sheath. It does have a pouch on it here. Let's see there, you got a little, put some stuff down in there. It does have the double retention straps there so that you can, it's jump rated, you know. I would imagine it is with the double retention straps like that. It's got a big old belt loop on it. See the light through there. Now this sheath's a little old and worn. It's not brand new, that's for sure. But it works just fine. Let's check out the knife that it is concealing inside here. If I can get it past that strap there. 5160 steel, Ontario knife, USA. Made in the USA. SP46 Skinner. And I've been wanting one of these for a while. They are hard to come by. And the reason I like it is I like that big Skinner belly on it for skinning game. It's just got a really neat kind of leaf design. You can see it's kind of like a mild drop point. But then with that big belly, it kind of gives it that leaf design. I've seen several variations of this. This is I think this might be the older one that actually says Skinner on it. But I do believe it's still Gen 2. 5160 steel. There's a whole story behind this steel and these Spec Plus knives for Ontario, and the guy who designed it all and made sure it was heat treated properly and sharpened properly by the factory workers. It's just a big drawn out story, so I'm not going to go into all that today, but it is very interesting. This sheath has a plastic kind of Kydex liner in it to protect the nylon from the blade. But yeah, for like an older vintage knife, like this thing is in excellent condition. Let's get some measurements and the weight and all that good stuff. Okay, it looks like the blade is exactly 6 inches with about 5.5 on the actual cutting edge of the blade. Because that's kind of like right there. Get my big finger out of there. And then the overall knife is about 11.25, just a hair past 11 inches. And the part where you actually will grip it, you're looking at about 4.5, 4.75. Because you got to have your hand inside of this kind of bird's head pommel there. And this big old knife is just about, well, it is down here at the bottom. So you're looking at 1.75 on the width of that big blade. So that's pretty cool. And the width of this steel stock is over 1/8 But under a quarter, you're looking at 3/16. Yep. Okay, this sheath that I have with this knife is 170 grams, and that's with that little piece of lanyard for a leg tie. And with the knife, you're looking at 441 grams and 270 grams for just the knife by itself. Okay, the knife by itself is 9.5 ounces. And if you add the sheath with it, you're looking at 15.5 ounces. So still you're under a pound. Okay, I got some just some quick stuff I'm going to put in the pouch for the heck of it for now. Got a Bic lighter. Got 2 pieces of good quality fat wood. That'll fit down in there. I'll probably put a little through night flashlight or something like that in there with it. But yeah, that should work just fine. Put a lighter down in there. Put a couple pieces of fat wood. Yeah, plenty of room. And let me buckle that. I need both hands. Yeah, there it is. It's all in there. Got a little bit of survival gear in there. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Really like this style blade too. The feels super grippy in the hand. It's kind of like a squarish shape, but the edges are real rounded. Then you got those deep grooves. Feels like automobile, like rubber from the tire. So you can imagine how thick and firm and grippy that is. You got this top kind of thumb ramp or thumb guard, you know. But you could use that if you needed to. You got a nice finger guard here. Really secure. Then you have like the rear pommel swoop there, so you can choke back on it and get some real swing. And you got the, it is a Stick-tang that's pinned on with a brass eyelet there. And then it looks kind of like a bird's head, you know, really flat. I wouldn't really hammer with that, but I mean, like if say you were like conk somebody in the head with it or something like that, it'd probably be pretty painful. Not recommending you do that, but I'm just saying there's certain things you could use that flat spot for, that's for sure. But we got the measurements, we got the weight. Let's do a paper cut test. Yeah, we haven't done that yet. All right. I got a sheet of printer paper here. And here is the knife. Now I did buy this used on eBay. So, you know, this isn't right out of the box or anything, but it does look like it's in mint condition. So let's see if this arrives sharp at all. Oh yeah, that's a skinning knife. Yep, not even hardly toothy at all. Like that's a really good cut. Yep, you can see a couple of spots where kind of snagged there. Yeah, but not bad. That's pretty bearable. Yeah, I like it. It's got a good edge on it. This is one of the better edges on these old Ontario knives. I always pick up those pilot knives and they're always so dull. But this one, not too bad if you hold it at the right angle. Yeah, pretty decent. Okay, here it is beside my SE5 survival knife in Venom Green with blaze orange handle scales. It's too bad the camera never really does it justice. This Venom Green is way more fluorescent than what it appears in the camera. But yeah, great knife. This is a full 1/4 inch thick. And this one here was 3/16. It's a little on the thinner side. and it's a full flat grind, which is really nice. This one here is a saber. Right there's the line. But for size comparisons. And here it is beside my cold steel drop forward survivalist. One of my all-time favorite blades. This is the older one in the bronze. But it is something. And this is, I think it just barely hits a 1/4 inch. It's just a little bit thicker than the 3/16 here. Okay, here it is beside the Ontario SP2 survival knife. It kind of looks like the survival pilot knife, except it doesn't have the stacked leather handle, obviously, and that big bolt on the end. But these are both from Ontario. Pretty much got the exact same handle. But you can see the difference there. This arrived very dull. These are usually very hard to put an edge on too. Whereas this one arrived pretty darn sharp. Pretty happy with that. There's the two different sheaths. I don't know if this is even an Ontario sheath. It might be. It doesn't say Ontario anywhere. But it's a good sheath. It works for the knife, so I'm happy with it. And here it is beside the new K-Bar Slabby. I have custom Lucas Carroll linen micarta scales on here in brown. These are very nice scales. It gives, that texture just gives so much grip. Takes this knife to the next level. Definitely need to get a set of these scales. And then this, I had a cheapo leather sheath for like $9 off of Amazon. And I just screwed it on there, put that on literally just for looks. You could have it hang down like a leg tie. This locking system, though, has a pin there. So in order to make that work, I obviously had to cut a little piece out of the leather. Doesn't really affect the strength or anything at all. It's fine. And now I can lock it or unlock it. You know, but turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. This arrived with the guard loose when I got it. So at first I glued it, but then I was like, I'm not happy with that. So I actually took a little C-clamp. Right here, I took this little C-clamp when the handle scales were off, and I literally just crushed the pin that holds the guard on and mushroomed it out, and now it's solid. It's not going nowhere. And then once that was done, I just put the scales back on, you know. And yeah, brown linen micarta handle scales, super grippy, because the original scales that come with it are right here, and they're just as smooth as glass, you know. They're just too slippery in my opinion. But I have seen people take these, and they take like a soldering iron, and they like stipple these to give it texture. So I mean, there's always something like that you could do if you didn't want to get the really awesome scales. I highly recommend getting these scales though. But it just turned this into such a better knife. But this is for size comparisons. This isn't a review of the Slabby by any means. Well, before this drags on too long, I'm losing light and I want to get another review filmed. So I hope you enjoyed this unboxing review of this Ontario Spec Plus SP46 Skinner. And it's in 5160 steel, and of course it's made in the USA. Ontario Knife, at least the factory, is out of business right now. And I think it was Blue Ridge Knives. Somebody bought them. So these might make a comeback someday. I sure hope they do. This is certainly one I'd love to see produced again. This is just a really neat knife. I've been wanting this one for so long just because of the full flat grind and kind of that leaf design. I already knew I liked the handles. The handles on these are awesome. So yeah, God, that feels great. Yep. And you could trim this top off too if you wanted it to be a little more bushcraft-like. Because it's just rubber. It's real super hard rubber. Then you could reach over, choke up on it easier, but it's no big deal. I think it looks cool. Feels really light in the hand, I gotta tell you. But yeah, could do a lot worse than this knife. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing review.
This is Joe Doomsday, signing out.